everyone, today we're going to be doing this look, which is my attempt at a Kim Kardashian look. And so I'm going to be using quite a few things to get her look. I've got a picture of her in front of me, and her look is very, it's quite simple to break down. And basically it's kind of a smoky eye, sometimes it's purple, sometimes it's grey, and then it's very nude lips and some beautiful bright pink cheeks, light pink cheeks, but she also likes to have under her eyes quite sort of pale and sort of glowing. I don't know if that's the incident with the sunburn or not, but it's a very statement look of hers that she likes, and I think it works really well. So I'm going to give it a go and see what you think. First up, we need some heavy duty concealer to get that real bright look that she has under her eyes. So I'm going to be using a liquid concealer, and I'm going to be quite generous with it and pop it under like this. I'm going to get that. She kind of pulls it down to her cheek about here. Oh, you're thinking I'm quite insane, but I look really crazy. I do look really crazy. And then I'm just going to gently blend that in with my fingers. I'm not going to blend too much down there. And just take your time with this bit. Really blend it nice and gently. There's no need to go mad. You can even do the old dab and roll. So push and roll like this. You can use a brush too, but I quite like using fingers. There we go. It's like a reverse Alice Cooper, isn't it, really? But this is what she likes doing, and I think it works really well for her face shape. Now take one of these rubber tipped smudging brushes, and we're going to just smudge it along the lash lines. You can do this with your finger, Q-tip, anything really. Just smudge it along the lash lines. This. Such a lovely smudgy pencil. It has to be a nice soft pencil. A cream eyeliner might do it, but you don't have very much time in which to work. I'm gonna have to grab my mirror, I think, and just hopefully you can see that. And I'm just really smudging it quite well under the eye. And if it smudges a bit too much, then you can always just clean it up with some concealer. So there, we've done the top and bottom lash lines. And then I'm also going to take the liner side, and I'm going to trace out my crease. I'm just looking at her. She doesn't go too high above the crease, so I'm not going to either. I'm just going to line the crease, only slightly. And this is also why it's quite important that it has to be quite a smudgy pencil, because you're going to want to sort of spread it out. Just grab my favourite smudgy brush. And now we're going up and over, working outwards to inwards. We are just smudging that over and slightly lifting it upwards. Because we're going to put on false lashes, so we want the whole look to look lifted. Now obviously I don't look like Kim Kardashian. I don't know how to say her name. I think it's something like that. That's terribly ignorant of me, but I've never actually heard anyone say it. I guess I'm not watching the right TV programmes. I'm lifting it up at the corner. I'm going to use this palette. This is a Luscious palette. And this is actually autumn winter from last year, but it's got some beautiful colours that are just Kim's colouring. So on the outer corner, I'm just going to start building up with this matte sort of carbon black colour. It's a bit lighter, it's more like a charcoal colour, and then I'm going to use a bit of purple and a bit of brown. So I'm just going to start by going over the lash line with a bit of this black carbon and blending upwards with it to cover most of the eye. Not too much. You know, this is quite pigmented. Quite pigmented indeed. So just go easy with it and blend upwards from the lash line. Now I'm just going to soften it with a bit of the purple, which is this purple. Because the picture I'm looking at is a little bit purpley. Crikey, that's really pigmented. Be careful with this. I'm going to have to take it down, I think, because now it just looks too dark. I like it, but it's a bit too dark. Easy to do. Take a light colour, and this palette is quite good because it affords one. There's one at the bottom. Take a lighter colour, load up on that, and just tap it over where you want to bring it down. There we go. I want to bring it down there. This is why it's good to build up colour slowly. There we go, I'm just bringing it down. I'm going to take purple and place it underneath. I begin to smoke that out a bit more as well. She has amazingly long lower lash lines, and I can't quite tell whether they're real or not, so if they're real, they're quite amazing. Probably not, but you know. There we are. Anchor it in the middle and pop down the ends. Generally what happens. Down you get. Good, good, good. There's always a bit of tweezer that decides to get stuck. That's better. And it's on. And then just press down gently, especially on the ends because they're the bits that will lift first. So press them down. Just with the flat end. Like that, and they're on. Because Kim, she probably has lash extensions, but she has beautiful open, wide open lashes, like this. And these are ones that I've used before. They're classic 142s by Kandii. So now I've just applied some mascara, loads on the bottom lash line as well, and I'm going to smoke this out a little bit more by using some of this smudgy pencil just on the waterline, lower waterline. Like that, really to, wow, impact on the eyes. Like that. Gosh, the eyes are looking, ooh, really out there, but that's how she wears them, and I think it looks really nice. Just to pop on some highlight. She has less lid space. We have different eye shapes. So I'm just going to take something shimmery and golden from this palette and place it under the eyebrow. I've got quite a lot of lid space and space here, but she has less, so she puts quite a bit of highlight on to really open up the eyes. So I'm going to do as well. There we go, right into there, get it nicely reflecting. So, and just to define, sharpen up the brows. So my lips are a completely different shape to Kim's. Hers are more sort of full on the bottom. She has a bigger Cupid's bow. So I'm going to attempt to just, I'm not going to be able to make my lips exactly like hers, but to go with it. So I'm just using, this is a definer and shaper, and I'm using the definer on the lower outer corners, and that sort of gives me a more pointed lip. So you can see that's kind of pushed out this aspect here, which I'm then going to just place a little bit of the lighter side. That's really pushed out my bottom lip, and I'm going to do the same on the top. So I'm just going to line the outer corner. And this is a great colour on me because you now can't see my lip line. There aren't many lip products that can do that without having to use loads of concealer. And now I'm going to really define this Cupid's bow. Because hers, I'm looking at the picture, hers is well defined, and she's gone up under the nostrils as well. blend. Crazy little tricks that we do. And from this palette again, Kim's very into her nude lip. So on me, I want something like this. And then I'm actually going to mix the two, that very hot pink and the nude colour. Otherwise, they're not really going to show up. So I've just got two bits on the back of my hand. I'm just going to mix them up to get that perfect pinky nude colour that she uses. And that's also appropriate for my skin tone. I don't want to look totally ridiculous. And there it is. Ah, lovely. Feels very nice. It's quite a sheer colour. I can see I'd probably have to do maybe 2 coats of this. So I've also used some lip gloss over the top. My lips look absolutely huge now, but it's a top tip to get them. And now we're just going to do a final bit of blush and contour. Again, I'm going to use this palette because there's a really nice pink in it, and it's the one at the top that you can see. So I'm going to start with that first. And she has hers quite high because she has quite defined sort of plump cheeks, and I don't. I'm just quite flat here. So she goes from about here and quite high up, like this, and they kind of go down into a point, like so. And the same on this side, it's quite high up, kind of goes down into a point. Girl's making the most of what she's been given. It's very sort of dolly-fied. It's beautiful. There. Go over, just make sure they're the same. And I'm just going to bring that down slightly. There's a bronzer in here as well, you can see on the side. I'm just going to slightly bring that down underneath to really sculpt underneath. Get that Kim-esque look. Underneath, if you have to suck in and make weird faces, do it, because that look, it's going to work. It's going to give you all of that. And a bit along the jawline, because we have very different shaped faces. She's a lot sort of slimmer than I am, obviously. So I'm just going to sculpt my face down, give myself more of a point at the end. I can't decide whether this is Eva Longoria Parker or if it's Kim Kardashian. Kim Kardashian, well, someone will tell me how to spell it. But there it is, there's my Kim look, and I hope you enjoyed it, and if you try it then let me know how you found it. It's been really enjoyable to try and do a celebrity look. I might do more, so I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, bye bye.